Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Today I'm making a batch of black drawing salve, and if you don't know what black drawing salve is it's a homemade ointment that you can put on minor cuts, burns, stings, slivers, that kind of thing. And what it's known for is drawing the infection out of those wounds and aiding in healing. Um, a little story here with a black drawing salve, just my own family here, that happened recently is my wife had a sting on her arm, and it was a pretty nasty looking sting, and I put some of the black drawing salve that I make on it, and in a couple of hours what it did was it actually drew that infection out of that sting, or that toxin, whatever you want to call it. It drew that out, and it formed a small pustule on top of that sting. We broke it open. That drained out. The next morning, that welt had went down quite a bit, and it sealed itself up, and it started healing. And that's what black drawing salve does. That's a real good example of it. I got the ingredients laid out here. A lot of the ingredients for these black drawing salves are similar, and then there's a couple of things that I add in a little bit differently on mine that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go over these ingredients here real quick with you, talk to you about them just real quickly, and then I'm going to show you how I put this stuff together. The main ingredient in this is plantain, or plantain as we call it around here. Plantain is a plant that grows wild in the woods, and I went out and I harvested some of this plantain about a month ago in the traditional manner by offering a tobacco after I harvested it, and I collected about a gallon Ziploc bag of it. And what I did is I brought that home and I cleaned it, and I put it into a quart jar just like this here. After I had it cut up, I also added about a pint can's worth of marigold leaves, and then I also put in, this is one of the ingredients that I put in mine, I put in about a 6-inch strip of birch bark. Both the marigold and the plantain leaves have healing properties, and birch bark, that strip of birch bark in there. Birch bark is known for its anti-inflammatory properties, so that's why I added that into this can here. And what you do is you cover that with a good quality oil, and then you let it set for about a month. And the oil that I use for this is sunflower oil. And the reason I use sunflower oil is very high in vitamin E. So then that vitamin E in there aids in the healing of your skin. And what I do with this kind of oil plant concoction is I let that set for about a month, maybe a little bit even longer than a month, in a kind of a warm, sunny place. And what happens is that as that sun is hitting that can, that draws those beneficial properties out of those plants and barks, and it makes a dark colored oil that looks just like this right here. And this here is going to be the basis for my black salve. And this morning earlier I strained some out, and so there's no real big chunks in my salve after I got it made. Now we're going to take this oil, and this oil is going to go into a jar, and then it's going to go into a double boiler, and then we're going to add some other ingredients into it. And the first ingredient that goes into it is beeswax. I got some pelleted beeswax here. I got about a cup of oil, and this is about a third of a cup of beeswax. We're going to put this in, and what that's going to do is that's going to, beeswax has beneficial properties as well, but that's going to solidify this and make it into a paste. And a couple of the ingredients that I have here is I have a bentonite clay, which also has kind of well-known healing properties. And then I have some homemade charcoal here. This is a homemade activated charcoal that I made. I store it in cans like this. I make it from time to time. You don't need very much of it. I got about 2 tablespoons of the bentonite clay, and I got about 2 tablespoons of the activated charcoal here. And what I did is I put this into a mortar and pestle, and I pounded the heck out of it so it's a nice fine powder. And then my last ingredient here, I don't know if you can see it real well, but I've got a combination here of raw honey and pine tar. I got about 2 tablespoons of raw honey here, and then I got about a teaspoon of pine tar in this. And I'm going to mix this in as well. Pine tar and raw honey are also well known for their medicinal properties. So like I said, I'm going to take my oil, I'm going to get that into a jar, and I'm going to get that into a double boiler, start getting that warmed up with the wax, and after that wax is melted and incorporated into that oil, I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. So I'm going to get that going here, and when I'm ready to add some of those other ingredients, I'm going to show that to you as well. Alright, I got my pot here on my burner. I got it about half full of water. I have my jar in here that I added my oil and my third of a cup of beeswax pellets. Got a bamboo skewer here that I'm using to stir that. I'm going to stir this quite frequently until those beeswax pellets melt, and then it'll be time to add my other ingredients into this, and I'm going to continue to stir them until they're all incorporated. And when I'm done, I'm going to take a clean half pint jar like this right here, and then I'm going to divide my salve up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep stirring this for right now until this is getting to be pretty well melted, and then I'm going to add my other stuff into it. Alright, now I'm going to add my charcoal in, and my bentonite clay in. Now we're going to stir this until that's incorporated, and then we're going to add our honey and our pine tar. Alright, I've taken this off the heat, and I've added my pine tar and honey into this, and I'm going to just keep stirring this now until this starts to solidify. And you'll start to see it form a little bit of a ring around the top as it starts to cool, as that beeswax starts to cool. And when that starts to happen, then I'm going to transfer it into my clean half pint jars for storage. I'm going to get it divided up and cool down here, and I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like, guys. Well, you guys can see here, it's starting to solidify a little bit up on the top. I've been stirring this about 20 minutes. You can kind of see when you can scrape down the edges like this. That means that the wax is starting to set up. I'm going to stir this for a couple more minutes yet, and then I'm going to get it in my jars to firm up. And here's what the black drawing salve looks like after I've got it divided up in the 2 half-pint containers. It's been about 2 hours, and it's firmed up quite nicely here. You can see it's nice and solidified. There's nothing more that has to be done with this now, other than to screw the lids on this and to put it up with my other home remedies. Just wanted to take a little time to show you guys how to make this black drawing salve, just a home remedy that's simple to make. You never know if something happens, you can't get to a pharmacy and get modern medicine. Sometimes these home remedies can be helpful. Anyway, I'm going to put the recipe for this down in the description, so you guys got that for reference. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys are getting a little information and a little entertainment out of my videos, and you guys have a great day.